What is up, Star Wars fans? Now, this is my first Star Wars video in a couple of weeks. I do apologize for that. There's been a lot of crazy stuff going on with San Diego Comic-Con, but now I can finally talk about a couple of things that I've missed, but mainly I kind of want to talk about the fact that the Episode 9 cast has been announced, because we can kind of speculate and start talking about things in terms of what the hell these characters might be doing next year. But wait, it's quite a while away, isn't it? God damn it. But before I go ahead and break down this new information, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars videos just like this. And also be sure to go ahead and hit that like button if you do go on to enjoy the video, as it really does show your support for the channel. So coming straight from StarWars.com, Episode 9 cast announced. So with the typical names that will be returning, like Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, we have some new members joining the cast for Episode 9, some of which we've spoke about on the channel before, such as Naomi Ackie, Richard E. Grant, and Kerry Russell, who will be joined by the veteran Star Wars actors. Now this is where it gets quite interesting. Mark Hamill, Anthony Daniels, and Billy D. Williams, who will reprise his role as Lando Calrissian. Now interestingly, they have said before that Carrie Fisher actually won't be in Episode 9 for obvious reasons, and also the fact that they weren't going to, you know, bring her in CGI style or use a double, but she'll have quite a big role in 8, and what was ever going to be used for in Episode 9 obviously just couldn't be done. But now what they're saying is the role of Leia Organa will once again be played by Carrie Fisher, using previously unreleased footage shot for Star Wars The Force Awakens. We desperately loved Carrie Fisher, says Abrams. Finding a truly satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga without her eluded us. We were never going to recast or use a CG character. With the support and blessing from her daughter, Billy, we have found a way to honor Carrie's legacy and role as Leia in Episode 9 by using unseen footage we shot together in Episode 7. So man, like, you could just go anywhere with this information. I guess first of all, I want to talk about Mark Hamill, and then we'll move on to Carrie Fisher. Now as for Mark Hamill, what could he be doing in Episode 9? The most obvious thing, like the most stand out obvious thing, is that he could return back as a Force ghost. I can't really see it just being flashback based. We've already seen the flashbacks of Kylo. I don't really see what other flashbacks they could really go in for. Sure, there's loads of adventures of Luke Skywalker that you could go into, but would they be relevant? Not really. So you would have to think that his role would be returning back as Luke Skywalker, the Force Ghost, to further guide Rey. But also don't forget those important words that he said to Kylo, "See you around, kid," or something like that. So he could even appear to Kylo to agree. I mean, I don't think that would happen, but, you know, because I don't think a Force Ghost has appeared to anyone bad in, like, you know, one of the villains in the films before. But that would be a very interesting dynamic. I know people really wanted, like, Anakin Skywalker to appear to Kylo and kind of talk about the whole Vader thing back in Episode 7 or maybe even 8, but we know how things kind of changed with 8 and how Rian Johnson ditched quite a few of the things that JJ set up with Vader's helmet and blah blah blah. But, you know, it would be pretty cool after, like, Luke's famous last words kind of being "see you around, kid," and you know, he actually goes to see Kylo and troll him a little bit. Obviously it won't go like that, but yeah, I have to admit, I think it would mainly be to help guide Rey, but I don't think he would just be doing that alone. I think it'd be really cool. There's a possibility that Yoda might be there, you know, more than one Force Ghost. There are rumors, whilst they're putting all concentration on Episode 9 and not the other spin-off films, you know, Star Wars story films like Obi-Wan, and, you know, obviously we would all hope to think that would be Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor might actually be brought into Episode 9, secretly filming for a very, very, very quick kind of thing. And what could that quick kind of thing be? It could be to hang out as a Force Ghost as Ben Kenobi. So what if Rey, being quite literally as we kind of know it at the minute, I mean, I'm sure there's some other randomer out there, the only kind of Jedi right now, but completely alone, just with the Jedi, you know, ancient Jedi texts, you would have to think. You would just have to think she needed to be guided by one of the OG guys, like Yoda, like Luke to a degree, because he's very knowledgeable now, and then Ben. I mean, why not get the whole Force Ghost, like, guru together and sit down with Rey saying, "Right, Rey, make sure you study this before next week's class. Make sure you read up to Chapter 4 in the Ancient Jedi Text Volume 2. You have to do that. Otherwise, you know, she's just going to be overwhelmed. I'm sure she has the intelligence and everything like that and goodwill to become a good kind of self-taught user of the Force and stuff. But, you know, I definitely need to see some Force Ghost action, and I don't want it to just be Mark Hamill. I love Mark Hamill. I'm really excited for him to return back, and I'm very confident, as we all are, that it will be as a Force Ghost. But, man, throwing Yoda and, like, some back and forth convo between 3 people at least, or even Ewan McGregor as Ben Kenobi, come on, seal the deal. Have Ben Kenobi come back in the last 3 films at least once. Now's your opportunity to do it, Star Wars. Come on. So I think that's mainly all I want to say about Mark Hamill returning. Obviously, Billy D. Williams is coming as Lando Calrissian. The only thing is, it would be as like romanticized and beautiful as it would be to have him see Billy. I mean, I don't think it will happen. I mean, that'd be really cool, but I can't really imagine the thing in my head apart from it being a fan service and not really being necessary in the story. But I would love to know, do you think there's any chance of Lando seeing like a Force Ghost Luke? I just don't think they would do that. I mean, I think Force Ghost time is kind of only as of when it's really needed or like some counseling is needed. Now let's move on to Leia. She will be coming back, but through footage that they shot in episode 7. Now this is quite cool. Like they must be really confident with whatever they shot in episode 7. They could like chuck those scenes into episode 9 to the point where it's fitting. Now the only thing that I can really think that they will do, now this is just my initial prediction, unless they can really manipulate the background of whatever Leia was shot in, like through green screen or something like that. That's if she was against green screen in some of the shots they're using to put from episode 7 into 9. I can only imagine they're going to kind of weave it in a way where Poe might become the leader or like one of the forefront people of the resistance, and Leia kind of just goes off to like some new rebel base or something like that, where they filmed her on the ground somewhere in episode 7, and they just have those scenes. They have like obviously her daughter Billy come in, make the story weaved more that way, and then maybe they just have Leia on a planet somewhere doing the good fight, you know, stuff, and then I don't know, just kind of resume the film. I really don't know. It would be a kind of conclusion to her story. It wouldn't be her dying or anything like that. It would just be her still being at the helm of the resistance, but I just can't think what they would have shot that would be massively significant or massively tell a story with just the lines that she said in those scenes as well. So whatever they've got is obviously good enough in a way to make it seem like her story can continue in episode 9 with the obvious tragedy that took place in real life, the fact that we can't use her with this story exactly the way we want. So all I can put it down to is just what I said. They might, you know, add a ship flying to a planet, they might blah blah blah, add that kind of thing in, and then when she's on the planet, they might just have Rey or someone talk to her, or her daughter in real life, Billy, go and talk to her and kind of make it seem like she's doing stuff in the background of the film. And I don't know, and then every now and again, halfway through the film or 3/4 through the film, they'll pan to her face from a shot from episode 7 of her smiling, or a dramatic close-up or something like that, you know. They can edit it like with movie magic that way to make her consistent throughout the film, but apart from that, I really don't know. I know she was meant to have quite a big role, I think, initially in episode 9. So yeah, I definitely think it's going to be more of like a keeping it going thing if they can. But I'd love to know your thoughts into what you think they can actually do with existing episode 7 footage of Carrie Fisher's Leia moved into episode 9 as a part of the story. I can't wrap my head around it more than what I already have, to be honest. Other than that, guys, J.J. Abrams has got Kerry Russell on board. That was rumored before. I believe she was in talks, and we discussed that. Like, would she be a part of the Knights of Ren? Would she be like a Mara Jade-esque kind of character that they borrowed traits from that character and applied to Kerry Russell's character in episode 9? But I don't think it will necessarily be either of them. I don't know what they're going to do with the Knights of Ren in episode 9. I think they will reference it, but unfortunately it's too little too late. If they introduced them, they would just be knocked off, and they wouldn't be too important, or like you wouldn't get a connection from the audience to them. There'd be nothing but the Praetorian Guards. Like, cool, but who really cares at the end of the day? But another thing I wanted to discuss is who isn't coming back. Andy Serkis isn't coming back. Now, this isn't like a massive surprise, but it just confirms that they're not doing anything, no flashback or anything with Snoke. I know this has maybe been widely accepted for a while now since they killed him, and that people said they might resume his story or whatever the background or origin of him was, just to be sorted out through a book and not through the big screen. But come on, like, you have to admit, through Snoke being in the films and then just dying the way he did, and unless Kylo talks a little bit about him in 2 sentences in episode 9, it was a big F up. It really was, in my opinion. I know it set up Kylo to be the Supreme Leader. I love all that stuff. I love these characters. But I just, man, I don't know. It really bugs me, I guess. Snoke was just there like, trollolo, Kylo, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, shit, I'm dead. Like, and we don't know who you are. So I don't know. That's just a bit annoying. But I do know that since he's dead now, you can't really go back. it is too late. Like, because now it's all about Kylo, it's all about Rey, it's all about that conclusion to that story. It's all about how will that resolve. If Snoke was to come back, what would the relevancy be now? It would be cool fan service to give a bit of a story to his background, but apart from that, we don't have the screen time, I guess. But I guess we're just gonna have to put that down to unfortunate mishandling of story throughout the 3 films. Like, maybe it could have been done better if you pick pieces apart and stick the new photos and pieces in there and there and there. But unfortunately, we can't do that. We don't have a time machine. But anyway, guys, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below about the official cast for episode 9 and the returning members. It's very, very interesting. I love when, you know, now we're heading into proper filming season for Star Wars Episode 9. We're getting all this new information. We're gonna have some, like, more stuff to talk about in the coming months, I'm sure of it. But other than that, guys, if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit that like button. And if you're brand new to this channel and you enjoyed this video and want to see more Star Wars videos just like this, why not hit that subscribe button to never miss out on a single video? As always, links are in the description down below to my social media, to my Patreon. But just thank you so much for watching this video, and hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you always.